It is now 2024 and nothing's changed. It is time for another market update for the Tacoma Pierce County area to see if things have gotten better for the buyers, because the entirety of 2023 was that the market's going to crash, and it did not do that. Is it going to do that this year, or are the buyers finally going to be able to afford somewhere to call home?
There's no place like home.
Well, let's figure it out and let's watch through the entirety of the video, because you may get some overwhelming answers that show you may get some relief. Possibly. My name is George Rodriguez with eXp Realty, and allow me a few moments a day to be a realtor. To get a good understanding of what is even happening, we have to take a look at a market overview to really understand how have houses been selling, how much they've been selling for, how long are people taking to sell their homes, and how many have sold. Of course, we have to get these data points because we have to know if the things are even moving.
Give us every last horrible detail.
So now let's take research just a little bit further, because it's always a little bit better when we have some graphs to kind of, give us our point. Now, so let's take a look at December in Tacoma first, and then we'll take a look at Puyallup. Now, in December in 2023, the average median sale price was $458,000 for Tacoma. Now, this low point that you're seeing right here is going to be $430,000 for October. So in 2 months, prices have increased a little over $20,000. Of course, the absolute low point was going to be in December of 2022 at $415. Now let's go ahead and move over to pending sales. Now, pending sales, we had 238 in Tacoma only. And then as we go to the days on market, the average day on market for you to sell your property within Tacoma is going to be sitting at 19 days. Now, this high point that you're seeing right here, that's going to be in January when the world was absolutely falling and collapsing, and it took you 36 days to actually sell your home. Hindsight 2020, that was actually the best time to do it. Buy in despair and when the world is falling apart. Now we're looking at Puyallup. With Puyallup, we're going to be having December 2023 as $530,000 as the average median sale price. And basically, it stayed around pretty much the same thing the entire time. So really, there really hasn't been much of a market shift in the dynamic for Puyallup, as it's basically held its value. So we'll go ahead and take that in, some good selling facts. Now, in pending sales for Puyallup, we had actually 1,975 properties that went into pending status. And the average days on market to sell a home in Puyallup is going to be sitting at 13 days. Not too bad. It's actually declined steadily since August of 2023. 4 days sooner on average if you priced your property correctly and did the right things to get it sold in a good matter of time. Digesting those trends and data points isn't all that bad, because we have those beautiful graphs and those squiggly lines telling us what's going up and down. But the beautiful thing, the one thing that is actually going down is going to be the interest rates. Now, as we take a look at these interest rates, I want you to pay attention to the fact that as rates come down, prices are going to go up. What has really deterred buyers from actually purchasing was the monthly payment scaring the living bejesus out of them when their loan officer told them that their monthly payment was going to be $5,000.
Wait. How much?
Yeah, that was not fun. And we're going to use Mortgage News Daily to give us an idea in terms of what we can possibly be getting for a current mortgage rate if you were to purchase now. So we have for a 30-year fix for a conventional at a 6.72%. Then on a 30-year FHA and VA, respectively, it's going to be 6.1% on each. Now let's take a look if you're going to be using a conventional loan just back in, October. Now, in October, the height was damn near 8%. Now, just for a couple of months later, let's just say 2.5 months later, you're now currently sitting at a 6.72. Mighty fine change in comparison. Let's go ahead and take it a little bit further and see what you would have paid in terms of then to now. So now, by actually having a couple months to wait when rates have decided to come down, let's just go ahead and put this at a $500,000 mortgage, and we ain't doing 20% down. Most don't. Let's just do the minimum at 3%. Now, with that at 6.72, your mortgage payment is going to be sitting at $35.49. Now, let's take that even further. Now, let's say let's just put 8%. $39.72, $400 difference on your mortgage payment. Now, of course, property taxes is going to be differing in terms of wherever you're going to be located, but overall, about $400 or $500 difference from your mortgage payment from October to now. Now, giving all of this information on a silver platter is a very beautiful luxury. Now, of course, if you want more of those luxuries, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Of course, like and comment if you want a different location highlighted in terms of the data that could be very useful to you. This is something that I love to do, just like everybody else. I like to go on Zillow and see, hey, well, how is the market looking, in my area? So let's go ahead and type in Tacoma and see how things are looking overall and for the market. So now let's go ahead and let's draw a little boundary. So of course, let's look overall and to see what's going on, to see if what the data points is giving us is actually what's happening here in our area. So let's go ahead and draw this little thing right here. Bladdow. That's a little bigger than Tacoma, but we'll be all right. Oh, your boy I can't draw. Here we go. Let's try this one more time. Okay, now let's take a look. Overall, you do see a lot of new properties coming onto the marketplace, and we want to take a look at the ones that have been here for quite some time. Like this one right here, we see price cuts at $10,000, price cut at $15,000, price cut. Look, price cut. As you can see, those properties that are staying on the market for quite some time are actually having a little bit of a hard time to sell their home, and it could be due to one, price point, just chasing what it could be, but also with affordability being where it's at, there could be some things working against the sellers in terms of the affordability. Now, let's just go ahead and pick a property right here. Let's just zoom in, blood out. Same thing right here, price cut at $10,000. This is a 3-bed, 3-bath at 2226 square foot. Now, this is in University Place, and this is a beautiful area to be in for sure. You're pretty close to Chambers Bay, so it's nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at it for $665. What are you getting? What I would have said, I think some good photos would have went a long way. I'm not throwing no shade, but things are buffering and it ain't very clear. So that would have been one thing that would have been taken in terms of getting your property ready in the correct manner. What is really working against it, honestly, is one, the bed size. Good square footage in terms of the overall size of the home, but it's going to take a very niche buyer to, one, want to spend that much to live in that area, but two, you're going to have an older style home that's built in 1971, and you do have an $81 a month HOA. So that's some things that buyers are going to be looking at now because they're actually taking the time to think and assess, is this what I want to buy? Now with rates coming back around and rates deciding to finally come down, that thought process unfortunately is going to be going away because now you're gonna have competition and you won't have as much time to think. As crazy as that is, don't ever feel rushed, but it's a possibility, just like a couple years ago, where you think too long, it's gone. I personally believe you take your time and assess things if it's going to be good for you and your family, and you go from there, because the worst real estate transaction is the one that you rushed. Let's walk into seller tips. Now, in 2023, you got beat up because in 2022, at the height of the market, as things decreased, when rates just shocked the market in 2023, honestly, if you price your property over in terms of what you perceive value was going to be, you ended up chasing the market the entire year, just trying to stay with the affordability factor of the buyers.
And bring your brooms because it's a mess.
Now, with 2024 coming up and rates actually decreasing, pay attention to the presidential election. I'm just gonna say that now. As we go into the election, this current presidency or whatever is gonna decrease the rates going into the election because they want everyone to feel rosy in terms of what they can possibly afford. Now, with that, then may be the perfect time to unload the property at the highest value, unless you want to go ahead and hold through the entire 2024 to get your number. But of course, that's going to be on you. Regardless, it is going to be extremely beneficial to talk to a smart real estate professional that can really get you to earth in terms of what you can sell your property for, because you want to take a look at the last 90 days. The last 90 days is really going to be the best form of understanding what you may sell your property for. So do your research, or contact me below and I'll do that for you. Buyers tips. Now, this is a beautiful thing. You're a buyer within this small window. You have the opportunity to not only still get seller concessions of $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 still, and there's not a lot of people on the marketplace yet. With that small time frame, you're gonna get a rude awakening if rates drop within the 5% range. Now, here in Washington, the last time they were in the 5s, people were going over asking, they were waiving inspection, and honestly, you're not going to get a single dollar in help from the seller to assist you to purchase. Now, as rates do come down, yes, your monthly payment is going to be lower, but that purchase price is going to increase. So however you look at it, it's a pendulum. Look at my hands. Look at these hands. If you have higher rates, your prices go down. If you have lower rates, prices go up. But the thing is, when you're right here, you're even, right? Now, when you have more buyers in the marketplace, you're now fighting for the house. As we saw in 2021 and 2022, people love to get happy with that pre-approval. So you have to pay attention to that and honestly bid with your mind and not your heart. Because if you get a little trouble with your emotion, trust me, you're going to be stuck with a house that you didn't want and you overpaid for it.
And what are regrets again?
speaking to a good real estate professional like myself or various others, there's plenty of good real estate professional out there. As long as you get the good education and actually, as you're mentally and financially ready to actually purchase a home, they proceed forward with it. Never go with emotion. Always go with the stability of financials, then the mental capability of willing to go through a home purchase. Now, as you wrap up this monthly update for January in 2024, my market predictions for this area is going to be as follows. So pay attention, come close. I believe that property values in terms of median sale price is going to increase. I believe that properties are going to last less on the market, and I believe more buyers are going to realize that things have gotten a little bit more affordable in terms of the monthly payments. Now, with that, buyers are still going to be able to actually get some seller concessions. I believe that's going to be coming to a close here within February and March. So take the time to digest that, and we'll see who is right. If you believe things are going to go the other way, hey, regardless, we're still making transactions close. We're buying and we're selling. So if you do need any consultation in terms of buying or selling property within the state of Washington, my contact information is going to be down below, and do not hesitate to reach out, as I always at least attempt to reply back to everyone, except if you're selling me something. If you're selling me something, you might just get a little funny emoji back. My name is George Rodriguez with eXp Realty. And of course, I appreciate you for taking the time to be with me on this market update, and I'll see you next month. So you have a good day.